Good afternoon. This presentation reflects about the housing structure of community life for the elderly people, with a focus on the home village in Portugal and the contribution that these structures could have in the revitalization of territories in the process of depopulation. At the beginning of the 21st century, Portugal appears as one of the most elderly countries in Europe. Another factor that characterizes the Portuguese population is its distribution through the territory, with a strong concentration of people in the large metropolitan areas of Lisbon and Oporto, and accentuation of the depopulation in the interior areas, especially on the borderline between Alentejo and Algarve. In the international context, most authors identify as fundamental that the communities of life for the elderly people must distance from an image of institutionalization, and they must promote a sense of independence, autonomy, privacy, comfort, and security to the residents. For that, it will be essential to verify some principles of action, namely in the definition of some concepts and in the development of its architectural planning, such as the use of a human scale for the buildings, which allows to promote a feeling of a domestic environment, and printing an inclusive character to the space. Based on these principles of non-institutionalization, at the end of the 20th century, other communities emerge, such as the retirement communities, the greenhouse projects, or the lifetime homes. And at the same time, some utopic studies were developed that can contribute to the discussion about this theme. The concept of home village in Portugal value the meaning of community life, which, from the architectural and urbanistic point of view, is implemented through the organization of and the distribution of the empty and building spaces, like the planning and organization of streets, squares, gardens, or spaces for outdoor sports, as well as the detail introduced in the materialization of the public and private architectural environments. The home village integrates the housing structure with the environment and presents an offer of health services to the residents and, in some cases, to the neighborhood communities, and also small commercial unities, some services and equipments. Now we will look for two case studies in Algarve region, the village of São José de Alcalar in Portimão and Monte da Palhagueira in Fado. Based on the cartographic, we can see that the neighborhood and proximity relations between Village São José de Alcalar and the central support facilities like hospitals, health centers, sports facilities, beaches, marina, and so on. The village is served by good communication roads, which allows easy access to central facilities and the city of Portimão, but is always necessary to go by car. In a region where the public transport network is deficient, this fact limits the mobility of residents. Regarding the maximum accommodation capacity in permanent house structures, with 26 houses with 1 bedroom, 18 with 2 bedrooms, and 8 with 3 bedrooms. The porch in front of the houses is the place of permanence and conviviality between the residents, and it makes the transposition between private and public space. Monte da Palhagueira is nearby Fado, and here we can see the relations with facilities like hospitals, health centers, train station, Porto, the international airport of Faro, universities, commercial areas, public gardens and parks, the coastline, and golf courses. The village is close by its urban area of influence, the city of Faro and the town of Santa Bárbara de Neves. As in São José de Alcalar, it is always necessary to use private transport to go out. The village occupies an area about 3 hectares. Most part of this area is unbuilt, and it corresponds to access, public and private gardens, lakes, squares, golf training course, tennis court, and swimming pool. The village has medical services, nursing, physical therapy, occupational therapies, and it is supported with different facilities like restaurant, coffee bar, a bookstore or a library, an Anglican church, and an indoor swimming pool, among others. It has 33 housing units, 6 with 1 bedroom, 22 with 2 bedrooms, and 6 with 3 bedrooms. These principles can be applied in towns and villages that are in a development process in the interior in Portugal. Some of them are abandoned. Now we will look for Monte da Palhagueira in Alcoti, also in Algarve, where this study proposes an evaluation and an intervention for its revitalization. This village is marked by a long process of depopulation, and it has the necessary conditions for the installation of housing structure dedicated to the elderly people. The urban plan is organized in a continuous street, the National Road. Most of the houses still keep their original structures and constructive characteristics, with a regular plan, with 2 or 4 interior very small divisions. In most cases, the only opening in the house is the entrance door. However, in some cases, we can find a small window in the room that faces the street. Most of the housing maintain the characteristics of the traditional local architecture, which allows that in a rehabilitation process. It is possible to follow the structural and the constructive essence of each housing and at the same time give the spaces and the specificities that they need for be adaptable to the elderly people. As an example, we can see a small house with only 1 bathroom and small private outdoor patio and 1 small bedroom with a living area. As in most of houses, this house has no windows. In the second example, we present a set of 2 houses, also with a very small dimensions, but we could be interconnected and promote a house with 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and a living room, a kitchen, and also a patio. At the most situation, the kind of intervention, it is very similar, because they have the same problems and the same benefits. But the most important thing is that the revitalization of a territory can only be happen with people who can stay and develop a life project there. Housing structures properly integrated with the quality and different offer of services, facilities, and equipments directed to the needs of the elderly could be the leverage elements of its revitalization. They could be promoted of jobs offers, economic and touristic development, and thus the contribute to the establishing of young people, life generations elements, urbanity, and therefore the revitalization. A territory is more than a composition of streets and houses, of full and empties. A territory needs people to travel, may their life and make it resistant to the time. Thank you very much for your attention.